get decked.
So the next question is going to be pretty straightforward. Good old Kev's going to ask us, what style is the easiest to learn, but has the least amount to buy all the cards needed to play that style effectively? I know we're going to have the same answer here. It's all the same. There aren't any styles that require you to buy anything ultra rare to play it.
In a way, yes. In a way, no. It depends on what mastery and what personality you're going with. Because Raditz Insane, you have to. You have to have that unleashed.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to get knocked down to zero so often that, yeah.
It helps. It helps speed it up to a point where you don't have to worry about stuff.
But we'll
Saiyan kind of is. Saiyan or Red. Red, actually, the way that the new Red is with the new mastery.
But which one? We'll answer the first part first. What is the easiest style to learn?
I would still say Saiyan or Red.
That's mine was Saiyan. Especially in the olden days, I said my answer is because, see, in the old Saiyan Empowered Mastery, which is frozen now, so don't think too hard about it. In the old Saiyan Empowered Mastery, that thing gave you every advantage you could hope for. It gently cradled you, made sure that you didn't have to worry about anything. Planning, strategies, what you talking about? The only key to that mastery was learning order to throw your attacks in, and that's it. It protected you from all of them. See, Saiyan style cards naturally have gargantuan endurance, so you expected to take hits in that deck and just shrug them off. Your attacks automatically raised your stages when they hit, so you were difficult to keep down at zero, provided you could keep attacking. What we're getting at is that the Saiyan style of that era was the easiest to learn, because it just did so much for you.
Well, and the new masteries do too. My reason why I say Red as well, everything gives you an anger. A lot of the common cards are still really good.
Yes.
So you only need... Angelo built that Red Trunks deck on 2 starter decks.
Yep.
Basically.
That's what
and
I'll
a couple of the new cards that were out.
And that's what we're going to say is that for them, yeah, they're some of the easiest to learn because their main mechanics already handed to you. You didn't have to find it. Mm-hmm. And as far as buying, not really. I don't think there's really a lot to buy to get those styles effective.
No.
I think minimally, as far as card games go, they're real minimal.
Yeah. And in all honesty, any style's not too bad to pick up and learn how to play. A lot of it comes down to what kind of MP you want to play. And you can make any deck work without an ultra rare.
Yep.
I've come to that conclusion. I've said that time and time again. I have 2 spheres. I don't use them.
Yep. I have a strange answer for you to answer your second question. So we said the answer to the first one is Saiyan, and then Red are the easiest styles. We were to say because they're just so self-explanatory. There's not much to them. There's not really like a lot of deep. I mean, you can have deep thinking. Don't get me wrong. We're just saying that.
Oh yeah. It took the Saiyans and took everything away from them that made them what they were.
That's hard.
I still play the old Saiyan Mastery, but I didn't throw attacks every 5 seconds. Hell, they would throw a time at me, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna keep going with my events, and they're just like, wait, why are you still going? I timed you. I'm like, shh. Time is just a relevant thing. Your slow demise is a constant.
Jeez. And then I would quote stinking Orson Welles as Unicron in the Transformers movie. You may contemplate those ideas on your way into oblivion.
Or for Doctor Strange. This is time. Infinite looped time. And I have all of it in the world.
Oh, yeah. You totally did. Is that all the time you have there? What we were going to say, though, to explain the other part there, so those are some of the easiest to buy for. But to answer your question today, I've played the game long enough to realize a harsh truth, and I'm not kidding about this one. If you want to buy styled cards, nah, they're never going to be very expensive. The actual style cards, like rares in the set of any set.
Some of them, I mean, like Blue Decapitation, but you can easily live without it though. Yeah. And that's the thing that I've learned about this game. You can easily live without the stuff. Like in all honesty, I could live without my 2 digs.
Yep.
Now I'm glad that I have my 2 digs, and I want to get rid of them because I have them and they're a thing to have. But like, I went a long time without them, and I did it just as easily with them without them. They're not in every deck that I use, and a lot of decks that I use, I find that I don't need them in there. Like Nappa didn't need digs. Cell doesn't need
no,
gigs.
nobody really needs them. They're a cherry on top.
They are a cherry on top. They are a very, very nice cherry on top.
The thing that we'll say about them is they're ultra rare for a reason.
Yep.
You're going to say, well, what is it? They usually remove from the card something that would naturally limit it. For instance, if Dig were anything else,
If it was anything else, the prevention from it
would have to be a hit effect.
It'd be on the hit effect as well.
And it would be banished after use.
Yeah, and it would be banished after.
See, what we're saying is all of these cards exist in lesser forms. They just have a little more restrictions.
What was I gonna say? Fierce attack.
Yep, Orange Fierce Attack.
Orange Fierce attack. It's specific to your styled energy attacks.
Yep,
But it does the same thing as it. It actually does it just
A
about as
little
better than you, because it gives you the 2 anger minus 2 anger, so you're actually helping yourself, lowering your opponent's anger. So you could still level up off of it. You keep your opponent down, and it's searchable. Oh God, is it searchable, especially with Yamcha.
So to answer your question, no, you don't have to. Like we said, any of the styles can be cheap because you can find things that.
Blue is cheap, arguably.
Yes.
The starter decks. The starter decks still haven't changed, really, in all honesty, from what they were from Evolution and from the base.
That's kind of rough when you think about it. It's like it's the same dang thing. So no, the answer is no. You really, almost no style is very expensive. You just find a handful of cards, usually newer, that are more expensive of the style cards and are harder to come by. But still, you can find similar effects that'll work for your purposes. You never have to get focused on paying for a higher cost.
And in all honesty, that's where the amazing part about this game is it's a training card game. You learn how to make new friends, and you learn how to barter, and you learn how to trade.
No, we don't do that.
We
don't trade at all. It's never been a thing. It will never be a thing.
Nope, it'll never be a thing for you.
Nope, ever.
I've gotten cards given to me because I do good trades. They're just like, hey, you needed this? Yeah. Oh, I remember when you gave me this. So hey.
And then I was immediately there to steal it.
And that's how you have communities, and that's why the communities are there for it.
Then I put James in a half Nelson, and man, I got that card right out of his head. That kid, boy. I did what I had to do, is what I'm saying.
And then I beat you with it.
So, also, this is a small thing. It may not be important. It's just if you're very new to the game. Remember that expensive stuff is from non-styled cards. That's like named stuff, the ultra rares. If you're going to think about what's expensive in this game, it's probably a non-styled or a named card or an ultra rare, and that's where the expense comes from. It's terrible to think about. And between me and you, don't think so hard about ultra rares. If I may throw an example at you about how does one deal with ultra rares?
We can name more ultra rares that were flops than were successes. Yes. You know what? Here. Let me pull out my book, and I could tell you 2 right off the top.
To get you to maybe bring this into focus about how unnecessary expensive cards are in this game,
and how they're only expensive because they're ultra rares because no one uses them.
Yeah.
Because true power.
Oh, all right. Let me define this one for you and give you the thing about it. Okay, it's ultra rare, right? Yep. It's 2 power stages to shoot it, energy attack, does 10 life cards.
And you can't use it. You can only use it if you have not performed any attack this combat.
It must be your opening attack. Whatever you do, you can do all other stuff, activate, setups, and all kinds of other stuff, but this has to be your opener. Remember, most attacks don't have as much problems with being blocked, right? Most attacks don't care if they're blocked.
Although everyone wanted this when Cell was running rampant, because if it was stopped, you banished your discard pile.
Because Cell ate your discard pile to advance himself. What we're getting at is that True Power, despite being an ultra rare, was one of the lamest cards this game has ever produced.
No, there's still Villainous Empowerment.
Yeah, okay, Villainous Empowerment. Imagine an event that lets you summon a couple of drills, wipe your opponent's drills. Setups or drills.
But, you can't use them.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. Yeah. It lets you pull your own out instantly and shuts down your opponent's, but it shuts yours down too, so they might as well not even be there. Who cares?
Assistance is still pretty good, but it's only $20. Like I said, it gains whatever price it has because of how much use it sees.
Yep.
And that ebbs and flows. If someone made tops somewhere with a heroic assistance, then heroic assistance would go.
That's what they should remind you, is that if you feel like really not good about the prices that you see online, wait a while. It'll change.
Oh yeah, Krillin dropped that. The starter San Diego Comic-Con Krillin dropped down to $5.
Yep.
It's back up to $20.
Think about that for a second. That was a nearly untouchable card at its peak. Oh, the stories we have. I still need a Super Saiyan God Goku though, at some point. So what we're saying is, one last example is if you play against people who have a ton of money, which we do all the time. So we play against people who dump money into this game, and you'll notice their decks always have a heroic or villainous energy sphere.
I mean, they're sitting right there.
Look at
I mean,
that.
I have 2 of them.
So we'll explain to you why you're like, wait, this is the most important ultra rare in the game. Nothing's even close. You can say, but wait, let's explain why.
Here's the thing why. Because unless if you're going against Namekians, your opponent really usually only has like
Yep.
2 to maybe 3
Yep.
events,
Yep.
maybe 4 or 5
Yep.
in their deck. Time. Oh, well, you can stop time. That's their argument all the time. And yeah, that's cool. That moment that happens, but 99% of the time, it's just in your hands
Yep.
sitting there until they time.
It is a hilariously dead card the rest of the time. You're going to be watching major tournaments like, I watched him sphere a sphere! Oh my gosh!
It's
Remember
because
this?
they had that sphere since
Yep.
turn 1, you know, and that's just been sitting in their hand when they could have thrown another attack or had another block.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's one of those, like, it's great, but it's
Just don't be
odd.
fooled even when people tell you that. When they tell you have to have a
Oh, we got in
sphere.
an argument with one of the Panini guys because of
No!
that.
What'd he say?
Yeah, he was just like, well, they need to make spheres more common. We're talking about doing that because, you know, they're just such a detrimental part to anybody's deck. So I'm just like, no, they aren't. Like, I mean, like, look, my deck right here, right in front of me, it's only got 1 event in it. You're going to tell me you're going to run 2 to 3 spheres, which is what they're recommending.
2
in
to
order
3
2 to 3 spheres.
spheres.
They're like, well, 1's not enough. 2's about right where it should be. 3 sometimes, maybe. Because they're used to going against Roshi and stuff like
I
that. And I'm just
guess.
like, even at that, Roshi's, it's drills, it's setups. You can't stop those with that. Well, you could you could keep on grabbing time and da-da-da. And I'm just like,
It's
yeah,
neat is
but
all
you
it
have
is.
other stuff to do that. That's when you grab your stuff, like, that's when you have other things that make it to where like that. Like, Orange has freezing drill that stops time.
Yep.
It literally says, I don't care that you're playing that, it does nothing.
Did you catch that you could use an alternative to an ultra rare?
Yeah. And it's only a rare, and it's like $1.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, and it's, and what the better part is, an Adept and a physical Orange deck, it's searchable.
So if you
you're
want to lock
grabbing
him out
that?
turn 1, you
Yeah.
can. You can lock him out turn 1.
You're grabbing that? Okay, let me throw an attack, okay, from my hand, and then let me play extension. Let me just go grab this. Oh, yeah, it's before the attack resolves. Oh, you can't stop that with time anymore. This is going through, and then I'm going to hit, and I'm going to be able to grab something else. You know, there's always something else. You know, like stage game, there's snoring drill. That was common, you know.
Well, what they're saying is, don't worry. If you're clever enough, if you're willing to work at it long enough, you never need a single ultra rare. And I use the word need. You may want one. You may even think you build a strategy around one. You never needed it.
It's always a nicety.